Obligatory podcast intro.
Hi, hello, and welcome. This is Flipping Pages with Matt and Adam. I'm Matt with my co-host Adam, and this episode is a little different. Today we are doing a Flipping Pages Season 1 honors show. Basically, we got a few categories, and it's between all the comics that we've read for Season 1. There's 26 episodes, but we read 25 comics because one of them was fake.
Yeah.
So we have best written character. We got a few other ones we're gonna go through and kind of just talk about the ones we read, basically.
Yeah. And there's no tight rules on any of these. For instance, like, oh, it has to be. This is what we meant about it. It's real specific. We're not taking it seriously. We're wanting to spotlight and highlight some comics that we thought were cool and sometimes not cool.
And it's also like how we feel now about them, not necessarily how we did when we read them.
More of exactly how we feel now.
We might have matured,
which has changed probably.
Might have matured a little.
No.
No,
No,
not at all.
Not that one.
All right, so which you want to get into it?
Yeah, man, we got because we're gonna be able to talk about them too. So let's get into it.
So I got best written character first.
Okay, cool.
Now, like a good arc, right? Is that what
That's part best? Yeah,
one of the parameters here?
Yeah, exactly. One of the things you would use to define a best written character. Exactly.
So what if it's like a god somewhere where his arc is a good guy, a regular guy to like an evil maniac? Would you consider that a good arc?
Yeah. So I wrote him down.
Oh, did you?
On mine.
That's one of yours?
One of mine.
My bad.
So on
Nice.
best written character, we'll just talk about the Eric from A God Somewhere.
Yeah.
Like I said, he's not even the main point of view of the story.
Right, it's another character.
But you see, he's very intimate with him. He's in it a lot. It's not like he's not in it.
Right.
And I thought it was a quick change, a quick character arc, but it felt real.
It did. Well, you because of the POV, you kind of felt it change with them, where it was like, it was love first. Oh, this guy that stood up for me.
Yeah. And
then the house exploded from the meteor or whatever.
Yeah.
And they were like, oh, we love him, we care. And then he's fine. And then they watch him change into this evil.
Pretty quickly.
So I guess that would be kind of the parameters, because I think that's a good one. I put Ernesto from Jar of Fools. The story about that broke magician.
The magician one with the black and white art. That one was cool.
Very old school, like comics looking art.
Genuinely one of my favorite art ones in there.
Yeah, that was good.
Like, if we didn't, I could have easily put that as one of my favorite art ones.
Well, it's nice because he starts one way and then you kind of see the hopeful climb.
Uh-huh.
I mean, he goes through tons of awful stuff.
Yep.
And then it kind of ends slightly hopeful. It's like a sad epic.
Like more, yeah, you're right.
I guess you could say that.
Exactly.
But I thought that was really well done.
It was.
Because if you're reading and you're like, oh, I feel for this guy. Or
they did their job.
You're angry when he's angry.
Yeah.
And I felt that when I was reading Jar of Fools. That one was really and I know we're not trying to pick winners.
Yeah.
Of like
each
each category,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I would say that one is, for me, that one was really good.
If it's easy to say it, then it's probably true.
Yeah, that was, because when I thought of that category, I was like immediately that one.
What are your other ones? You got other ones? He's your top, basically. But
he would come through as a clear winner if we were doing that. But I have Dylan from Kill or Be Killed. The one where the
red ski mask guy?
The red ski mask, the demon is making him kill for one body a month because he tried to kill himself. His toll, exactly.
Dude.
And because that comic is all dialogue.
Yeah.
It's all dialogue.
Yeah.
So all you're doing is spending time in his head.
True.
And you see what he's saying to people. So you have that relationship of watching him lie and scheme or whatever he's doing. And then you hear his actual thoughts. So to have it go from a regular dude to not a maniac, but still a killer.
Yeah.
It was pretty, because he has to kill bad guys.
It was good. Because
remember, he has to kill bad guys.
Yeah, when I edited it, I was able to, I saw it all.
Right.
Instead, whenever I usually won't see the whole thing, and we won't cross read our things.
True.
But whenever I edit it, I ended up seeing yours as well, and that was awesome because I read
cool.
a lot of it while I was editing.
It's
I was
good.
like, this was good.
And I never finished it, so there is like 12 issues.
Oh
I think.
yeah,
So there's
that was
quite
something
a bit.
I would want to.
Actually, I lied. There might have been like 20 something.
That's awesome. It was a great story.
It was, yeah, it was good. So I'm sure his arc just keeps going.
Yeah,
with
exactly.
That. And I did Young Master, the samurai one.
Okay.
Oh, same reasons though. It's a lot in his head. You got to see we kind of these hardships happen and then him get over it. It's pretty cool.
Yeah,
like the guy with the
there's
arrow.
a lot of hardships.
He spent 3 years locked in a room studying, trying to figure out how am I going to defend this guy.
Yeah.
Because this dude's going to kill me with an arrow as soon as I walk out this door.
That's right. I forgot about that.
And you got to see him figure that shit out, which I thought was really cool.
That is cool. And it was like a lot of years of his life in that story, right?
A lot, yeah.
Like
I mean, as many as I read.
Oh, right.
The amount I read. Again, there's more of
Still
that one.
goes.
There's like 9.
Right.
So those were my 3 picks. Like
That's
those were
awesome.
both very well-written characters, I think.
Yeah, I like I said, I only kind of read the Kill or Be Killed one.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't really read the other one, to be honest, but it was cool.
It
was so cool.
I liked
awesome.
your A God Somewhere. What, you got other ones?
Yeah. So I got Witch Doctor, which I'm gonna say it right now. It like if I was like more like grabbing more for each one, Witch Doctor would have made it onto a whole bunch of lists.
Right.
As it is of now, I think it's on 2 lists.
Okay.
Or 2 of the
I got
categories.
a few crossovers.
Crossover, yeah. So Witch Doctor, Doctor Morrow.
Yeah.
Morrow.
Richard Morrow.
Yeah.
Dick Morrow.
Yeah.
Dr. Dick Morrow.
He was he
Witch
didn't
Doctor.
change a lot in it. Like it wasn't a big change in it, but so it wasn't a best written character in that sense.
Yeah.
But just the way he interacted with everybody, he's kind of like House, but like
I was going to say he had to stand out from all the comparisons. Because
Right.
it's like, oh, this could be like a John Constantine. Mm-hmm. Oh, this is a Doctor Strange type.
different.
Yeah, but he had to stand out, which I thought, House, Doctor Strange, Constantine. And he stood out as a very cool character on his own.
Yeah.
With all these comparisons, kind of. That's something I noticed when
it
you
was
were
I
covering that.
ended up buying the
Yeah, you
second
did.
comic just I liked it a lot. And I definitely don't always do that whenever I read stuff for this, but on that one I was like, I have to.
You
so
have to.
I had to put him down for sure. And then I have Josh Jaffe, who's
Who the
Jacked.
hell is the
guy from Jack, the
pill
super
poppin'
dad,
super dad, right?
Yeah. Because he's actually got an arc in that story that I
Yeah.
read, and I think that is the whole storyline that I read was
Believe
the whole
so.
arc. And
It
he went
was
from
a graphic novel.
yeah, it was. I think he was a very insecure middle-aged man with a whole lot of problems that a lot of people could relate to, and then he accidentally wasn't trying to. He just wanted pills to make him smarter or feel better. Or
Right,
whatever.
yeah. He
And
took a
finds
chance on like an infomercial
a crazy
type
info
thing.
pill, and so it just made him like a superhero basically for a while, and he had to keep taking them. Whatever.
But didn't you
whatever.
find out that was it the actual pills that were doing it?
It was, but it didn't work on anybody else.
Just him.
Yes, it
So
was
that was
snake oil for
interesting.
everyone else except for him.
That's right.
He's the only one. His genetic makeup, his issues he was having, the medicine he was taking.
That's a good answer. I think
Dude.
that's a really good
It
one.
was cool. It was very cool.
Dang, I don't have any honorable mentions on that. I guess I could think of one is the guy from 8.
Okay.
That time travel story.
Yeah.
That's really that one was good, but he was just as confused as we were for quite a bit.
I felt like he
lost
carried
his
the story
memory,
pretty
too.
well. If I didn't really read that one after, but I do remember you telling that one.
That's like I said, honorable mention,
Yeah.
not super concrete that I can think of that I was like, oh, this is why.
Right.
But offhand, I would put that one out there too.
Nice. Oh, yeah.
So, second category, we got hottest guy. No need to debate
Yeah.
this. I know it. You know it. Let's just say it at the same time. 1, 2, 3.
Fluff.
It's fluff. Yeah.
Well, what did you think?
Yeah, it's fluff. It has to be fluff. The deepest V.
The deepest.
He's got this V-neck, y'all. It goes past his navel because it has to.
That's where his superpower
Because
comes
his
from.
superpower is he controls a belly lint.
Yeah,
basically.
they call it naval fluff
Naval
through the
fluff.
comic. Naval fluff comes out, and he can control the chemistry of said naval fluff to turn it into acid goop, or helium or whatever.
He could make a house out of it.
He could, yeah. He filled up a whole room with acid fluff.
Didn't he? Yeah, he's is pretty much the greatest character ever conceived.
Yeah.
And he is the winner for the hottest guy.
That was no
in all the comics we've read, for sure.
No debate.
Rest in peace, Fluff.
Right.
Gone, but not forgotten.
That's true.
Marvel. Hashtag Marvel, bring back Fluff, please.
Yeah, right.
We would love to see some
it.
more. We've talked about it. I want to see, like, I love when Marvel takes a third, what is it? Tertiary character and makes them the focal point of this giant story.
He could make something with his Fluff.
I want Fluff to, like, somehow be in the middle of this giant Marvel event and let him die again, but go out like
saving everybody,
like a hero. Or something.
He was a hero in the comic he was in. Literally,
kind of.
Oh, he didn't understand how bad that they were bad at first, and when he found out they were bad, he went against them.
He was like, "Hey," and then died immediately.
Yeah,
but bring him back, gone,
Fluff.
not forgotten.
That's right.
All right, so we got also Hottest Girl, right?
Yeah.
I didn't have a lot for
not
this.
nearly as easy.
No, it wasn't.
No, it honestly wasn't.
I've tried to be funny and like objectify these comic book characters, but I'm like, this is difficult.
We've tried that, and it was like, it doesn't work.
Because one, they're animated, so I'm like, oh, they're so hot. But like, I tried to think about it differently. What art existed to try and make them
to justify it them being considered the hottest?
So I picked the I believe her name was India from Vice.
Yes,
she was the superhero cop.
Yes,
and she could control this like very small amount of metal,
liquid metal
that existed in their world, and they only had a tiny bit of it. And then you find out near the end that they have a little bit more, and she coats her whole body, so she looks like what did we say? Like a sexy T2?
Yeah, sexy Silver Surfer.
Oh yeah, sexy Silver Surfer. Yeah, from or the Terminator from Judgment Day. Like, so that's really that. And then the only other one I could think was Belle.
You didn't Starfire?
Yeah, I just thought of that. I just thought of the post we did.
Yeah,
or I just saw it.
Yeah, that felt like fan.
Yes, it very much was fan service,
big time.
Because they were like, she's orange with like red hair.
Yeah,
you think it clashed, but it doesn't.
It doesn't. Somehow it works.
And then they have her like in a bikini. In the beach. So that was definitely like that one's calling to be like, please
throwing it out there. Yeah.
Look at her.
Yeah.
So, but other than that, not too many.
It really wasn't. No
comics we had that had the need for it.
Yeah.
Other ones were like scenes of chaos.
Yeah, there weren't main characters, that's for sure. Like in the Hulk one I had, there's many beautiful ladies in the Hulk comic, but none of them even have a real name in it. So I was like, no, we can't do that. No, we're not going to do that.
So I did have another pick for this, but I chose not to, and that comes up in a couple of categories.
Okay, cool.
So I'll tell you why I don't have that one. Did you have any more?
Not really. Like Belle. You said Belle was one of the only other ones I said.
Only other one I could think besides this other one, but it's for reasons. Yeah, it doesn't work.
Good deal.
So all right, we'll go on. Best faces.
Best faces.
So if you don't know, we have a segment we do called How Are the Faces?
Yeah.
Because we're not really great about discussing art or knowing how to convey anything about it, in all honesty.
Anything intelligible about it at all, it gets thrown out the window. We're just end up being like, we like it or we don't like it.
It's really cool.
It's got thin lines.
So we've changed it to best faces. If because most of the time we'll pick up a comic, and if the faces are done really, really bad, we kind of turns us off. And it is
an important part.
It's very important. We learned how to like kind of zero in on that. So we have a category for best faces.
Yep.
And you go ahead. What you got?
So I actually jumped across the lines multiple times on mine.
Oh wow!
Like a bunch of times, because like I don't know why they just hit me and I really liked it. The what is it? Blood and Dust.
That's
Life and Death.
That's one of mine.
Judd Glennie.
Blood
that one,
Dust.
I loved the faces in that. That was amazing.
That's the Grandpa Vampire with all the vampire grandkids.
The country vampires. It was awesome.
Yeah, they live
Redneck
in a swamp
hillbillies.
in Louisiana.
So cool.
Very cool.
The story was cool. The art in general was cool, and the faces were intense.
Yeah.
And you could definitely tell who everybody was.
Oh yeah, for sure.
That's for sure.
Yeah, that one was really good.
So that one, and then I got Toshiro.
Dang it, that's two of mine.
Yeah, because they were obviously like standouts.
Really good.
Because Toshiro had very simple art, but you could tell who everybody was, even with the very simple art. And it was just a good art style.
Yeah, and I'm not good at it, but it was really gritty and kind of messy on purpose, and dark.
Yeah,
and I love that kind of art. If you see it, that's definitely right up my alley.
Yeah.
That's what I love. So
yeah, it was really cool.
that was actually my number one thing that I wrote down first was Toshiro,
right?
And then Blood and Dust was on there as well.
Really? Okay, well that's kind of oh, and then I didn't say Metamorphosis.
So that's that Kafka one.
Yeah, the Kafka graphic novel version of Metamorphosis. The art in it is very like old school in quotation marks, like
abstract?
chunky. No, not even abstract. It was chunky black. It was only black and white. There was no shaders or nothing, and it was. I see. We can't. I have no way of describing it correctly, but it was just so impactful. His dad, the main character who turns into a bug, his dad is really mad about it or whatever because it's a big metaphor or whatever. We're not going to get into it. But the art conveys emotion so well.
Okay.
Very well.
Because that's what you want.
Yeah. And the faces were just impactful. Like, I still remember the one page where he's, like, yelling at his son, trying to, like, stomp on him, basically. And his face takes up, like, a third of the page.
Oh,
and it was, like, super. I remember it, like, really vividly.
I have the same reasons for I picked Jar of Fools for this one as well.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Because that art style lends to it. You saw, like, there was a little girl in the story, and she had a rough story until the end.
Yeah.
So you could see like pain on her face. You could see when she was sad, angry. Same with all the other characters. They're basically all going homeless and broke.
Yeah, it's not
with
a good
each
time.
other.
Yeah, it's not a good time.
Pretty rough beginning to middle of the story.
Yeah.
Near the end, you like I said, a small
Picks
ray
up
of
a
hope.
little bit, yeah.
But you could definitely feel those emotions conveyed on those faces in that one.
Oh, for sure.
So yeah, and then I also put 8 on this one.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Because
I could
that
see that
one was weird Earth people. And it was, I felt like it was all faces.
A lot of close-ups, huh?
Yeah, a lot of it.
Yeah.
I think so.
Okay.
And there wasn't a whole bunch of characters, so they conveyed a lot with the 7 or 8 characters they did have. And yeah, I actually wrote that one down. That's not an honorable mention.
Oh, okay.
8 is definitely on my list for best faces.
Well, we had a lot of crossover
But
there.
yeah, crossover, Toshiro Blood and Dust would probably take that one.
Yeah. So good.
Because remember when I showed you the mom's face, you were like, "Oh, that looks insane." She's like a full-on monster vampire.
Yes.
And she's terrifying.
Yeah. It looks so good.
All right, so we did best faces. We got to do worst faces.
Yeah.
Got to do worst faces. I know mine.
You get your best, you got to get your worst.
Yeah.
It took me, this was the quickest, easiest part of the whole thing for
What's
me.
the worst?
No, worst faces specific. Yeah, this one was way easy for me.
What is yours?
All right, so I'll just name them out. I got ElfQuest, I got Cold Space, and I got Vice.
I probably could have. Oh, you went. Dang it! I got Vice too.
Yeah. So the Vice one obviously was terrible.
I got to defend it a little.
Let's hear it.
Because it was very much a product of the mid 2000s
of the time.
A lot of comics look like that.
Yeah.
But probably compared to a lot of comics, then it would stand out. It's not great faces or
faces specifically. The overall art wasn't disgusting.
It wasn't bad.
It was not something like that. But the faces, I do remember
disgusting.
that. Yeah, not good. I had to put it on my list, even if it's your comic.
Yeah, okay, go ahead.
So then Cold Space was the Samuel L. Jackson one, right?
Oh, yeah.
The faces in that were god-awful. Everybody looked the same. Samuel L. Jackson went from like a Latino man all the way to a very dark-skinned man, all in the same comic.
There's no consistency.
Their faces were just chubby and nasty. You had one that had chubby faces too.
That's my number one pick.
Okay, we'll get to it when you go. Chubby faces in it and just... it wasn't good. And just art style in general was not my favorite, so just all that combined.
It seemed very low effort. I remember
That's what it felt like.
I mean, across the board, low effort.
Every part of it. And then ElfQuest was the crazy owner created, where the wife does all the art and the writing, and her husband does like colors and some other stuff or whatever. So it's her very personal style.
Yes.
But they are the most because they're fairies, right?
Or elves.
But aliens. My bad, because they're originally aliens.
There's all types of shit going on in
so
that
they're originally
fucking story.
aliens. So they like heard of elves, and then their alien turned into what they thought elves look like. So they're this crazy anime style. Their eyes take
Cherubic.
up 1/3 of their face.
Yeah.
And it's just crazy. Like, and they kind of look all pretty similar.
Yeah, they do.
They're
I
all
remember
very
that.
elf faces. So
Same with Recess Pieces.
Yes.
But I didn't put
I
that
like
on the
that
list
one
because
more.
I believe it was supposed to be like
it was
that.
supposed to be kind of off-putting, right?
It was, yeah. Because, I mean, they would show them picking their noses close up, shit
and
stuck in their... Yes.
Ren and Stimpy up close.
Ren and Stimpy, shit stuck in their braces.
Yeah,
You could tell one of them's mouth breathing. And it's like, it's supposed to be... Ugh.
Yeah.
So, Unholy Grail.
Yeah.
The one I did with Merlin being a demon. Yeah, Merlin dies in the first 10 seconds of the comic book, and a demon wears his skin and just screws everything up for King Arthur and the Knights of the Round Table. It's just a crazy retelling.
So the faces were bad in that, but overall the art was cool.
The art
so
was
that's
all right.
Hard to, yeah.
But everyone was like chubby.
Yeah, the
everyone
faces were
had
not good.
big round faces.
It was not
and
good.
so I was gonna put like the Lady of the Lake, or Morgana as one of the hottest girls. But when I went back and looked, I just saw these like chubby, weird faces.
Yeah.
And I really stood out because I had Paradox on my list as number one for that. And then Vice as well. But when I was looking at the women and I looked at Unholy Grail, I was very surprised. I'm like, oh, I might have said the faces were all right when we recorded, but when I see them now, I was like,
back,
oh no, these are chubby and goofy looking.
Yeah,
so
they all kind of,
that one takes it for me. And Paradox was just weird because there was very little consistency.
Yes.
And Paradox was like the cop going from Earth to the other Earth, the magical Earth and our Earth.
Yes.
To like solve a mystery, and the bad guy
vaguely
the bad guy ended up being his close friend, and he was like, this isn't how I look, this is how I look, and he does some magic and he's just a slightly different older white guy.
I remember that.
And then in one panel he looked black.
So
we were thinking,
we got confused as hell.
Maybe he is a black man and he disguised himself as a white guy. But no, just that panel,
Poor
he
color
looked black. It was bad
control.
coloring, something. So I almost gave it to that one, but it goes to the chubby faces and Unholy Grail.
Yeah, I got you.
And honestly, Kill or Be Killed. Despite having a great written character, their faces were a little chubby.
I remember we said
and they all look alike.
Yeah, they all looked alike and like old men.
They look like some 60s pulp comic clones.
Yeah,
just walking around in their own story.
Vinny America.
That's what they all look like. I mean, the feathered hair, the slacks with the creases, and the collared red shirts. Like, that's what they all look like.
Yeah.
So it was like a real indiscriminate time period too. You're like, he's sitting. It's a box TV, but he got a cell phone. No, I don't know if it feels like that.
Yeah.
It felt like that, though.
Right. That's funny. All right, we can go. That wraps up Worst Faces.
Worst Faces for sure. Yeah. Yeah. Vice made it across both of them. That's funny. Oh, so best art, since we're talking art. Yeah, we got the best art. I got a lot for this one.
Yeah, that was hard.
Yeah.
That one was really hard to
nail down.
Yeah, man. I was just like, I don't know. So it just took me a long time. I ended up just being like these.
I did a lot. So these are not in any order.
All right.
I did Toshiro.
Uh-huh.
Did that make it on yours?
No, but I loved it.
Toshiro, just like I said, that dark, gritty style. Mm-hmm. And it was very violent and raw, so I also like that. Fafhrd and the Grey Mouser, that's Mike Mignola.
Yep.
And I just like his art. I just love his style.
Yeah.
It's very cool.
Yeah, it's great.
Mr. Ista, which looking back is like one of my favorites again.
It's so good.
I just love how crazy it is. It's so irreverent and silly and awesome.
It's wild but easily readable, meaning you can tell exactly what's going on, even though crazy shit's going on.
Even though some goofy, silly stuff is happening, you can.
Cartoon type shit is happening and you can still see it.
That one was one of my favorites.
Awesome.
Young Master, which...
Really?
It's just like... I like that samurai that I guess those...
Oh, Young young master. No, I was thinking
samurai guy.
I was thinking the other orphan.
Oh
one.
no, that's just like bubbly.
Yeah, that's a different one. I remember now. No,
can't
that
really
one is
rate
good.
that one.
Okay, now I remember. No.
Very Asian style.
Yes. Yeah, I remember.
A lot
now.
of quick
You
lines.
showed me a few when you were telling the story.
Almost photorealistic faces.
Very well done faces.
And
yeah.
I didn't put it on best faces, but like
It was good.
They look like pictures, and then you took a picture and just scribbled the black lines for the outline of the face.
Right.
And that was what they did. They were that good. Like that's how they
Uh-huh.
looked. But I did enjoy that art overall. Everything, because he would go in his fugue state where it was like a white room and the bad guys are popping out of
that's
the
the part you
windows.
showed me. Yeah.
The whole comic was sick. Yeah, that
it was
art
good.
kind of stands out to me. And then I put one of yours on. I put The Wake.
Yeah.
The Wake
That's on
was
mine.
super cool.
That's on mine.
And then I Walk with Monsters, which I admit was a afterthought. But looking back at it, I was like, oh, it is really cool. That like messy, scribbly.
It's on mine.
Is
It's
it
on my finals list. Yeah.
nice?
Yeah.
And then 8.
Eight was good.
8 was very cool because
Yeah.
it was black and white, and there was color, but they had to distinguish where they were by background colors.
Yeah.
So, the blue is the future, green's the past, that type of
Yeah,
thing.
yeah.
And that was super interesting.
It was cool.
That it was cohesive, understandable,
Yeah.
and totally easy to read.
Yeah,
throughout the
it was
entire.
very easily readable for sure.
So yeah, those definitely go out for best art. Just talking about it, Young Masters and Mr. Issa, like my top probably.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah.
So I had Wake and the Walk with Monsters on
Nice.
mine. Finals list, too. Like, my
Yeah,
finals.
yeah.
And I put Law Dog on my finals list because, like, for the time, if I had seen that at the time when it came out, I would have been beyond floored.
It looks good.
It looks so good.
You know what it looks like?
Huh.
It looks like someone now made a comic
Trying
to
to-
look like the 80s and 90s style.
It was so good.
That's how good it looks.
amazing.
And I'm not a fan of that.
The colorist or
90s.
the inker, whoever was doing the colors on it, just killed it.
It was great.
The actual artist was amazing.
It was pretty busy too.
It was crazy detailed.
Yeah. I
Extremely
guess
detailed.
more than busy. It was
Yeah.
very detailed.
And it was printed on shitty news stock paper.
Right.
It was not even printed in because the copy I saw was a news stock copy.
Hey, shit was fun to look at.
Oh, it's beautiful, man. That's why it's on my best art list.
I really do hate to admit that I'm not the hugest fan of 90s comics, but
Oh, right.
there's just a lot of dialogue. It's always busy, and it's not necessarily the art that turns me off, but that, very intriguing.
So cool.
I liked it.
So
very much
that was
enjoyed
put out
it.
by Epic Comics, who was a subsidiary of Marvel Comics that had nothing to do with the main Marvel.
Yeah, they
line.
could be dirty, too.
Yeah, exactly. So it was really dirty.
could
Not
say-
really dirty.
well,
Kind of dirty.
they
and
could say wordy
Very
words.
violent and explicit and whatnot, but not in a silly, like not in a off-putting way. Very well done. That was an awesome one. And then there was just so many that I was just like, oh, it's so good, but I don't know if I'm putting it on there. And I want to give a shout out to the art in Bell because I thought that was really well done art.
Yeah.
It wasn't my favorite style ever, but it gets on my honorable mentions list just because I wasn't expecting much. It's a random book publishing company that did it.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like Marvel. It's kind of like DC.
I was going to say, it just looks
It
like
looks like
some-
standard. I
some
just like the
Marvel, yeah.
it was well executed. So it's
well
not
done.
on my list, but that one's well executed. And then you had so many that I thought were really good.
Yeah, you liked some
You
of mine.
named basically all the ones that I was thinking on your side.
Oh, Mr. Issa, Toshiro.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Did
those
you
are
say
good.
Unholy yet on anything?
Unholy Grail. Yeah,
Yeah.
Worst Faces.
For Worst Faces, yeah. Yeah,
And honestly, I would put Pestilence on Best Art before Unholy Grail.
yeah.
Same company.
Yeah. I had Pestilence on Best Faces.
Oh,
too.
did you?
Yeah.
You didn't even say it.
No, I know.
I would have
'cause
fought with you on that because I don't agree.
Yeah. no, look, it's crossed out because
Oh, you put Toshiro.
you told me that
Oh yeah, well
reminded me
there's
about it.
there was a moment where there's a few moments.
So I was switching it over to Best Art
okay.
because
The
the
art is
faces were
very
not
cool.
good, but the art was good.
In which it can be. You can have great art
one
and
or
bad
the-
faces.
You can have both or one or neither.
Yeah. Paradox did not have good either.
Yeah, Spook had terrible faces. I know
yeah.
I'm kind of running back, but pretty cool art too.
It did, yeah, you're right.
Cool art, but terrible faces.
Vendor, bad art, bad faces.
Yes, but amazing story.
Cool story, though.
Super cool story.
Was a cool story.
Yeah.
All right, so we got a best written comic.
Yeah.
So just overall, right?
Yeah, so like there's
And written, not overall best comic.
Yeah. The story and the writing and the dialogue, all the writing part. So,
I did 8.
yeah.
I know it's made it on a couple, but like I said, to have the background be the only signifying thing that tells you where they are it's a time traveler story, and the background is the only thing color coded, yeah, to tell you what part of time they're at.
Yeah, which is really cool.
And the story was cool. It was like, hey, go to this world, go back in time, or go to this time, find this Nazi and kill him.
Yeah.
And just all the crazy stuff around that happens. And then I put Young Master because, again, lone wolf and cub story.
Yeah.
He has to take care of a blind girl.
Yeah.
And he's a dope-ass samurai. It's just awesome.
Yeah.
So I'm not putting that super high on the list, but it's just a cool story.
Should be on there, okay.
And they did it well, was my point.
Yeah.
All the action was, like, easy to see. It was cool. Also put Dancer, that one I did last.
Yeah, I thought I was pretty sure you were going to put Dancer on there.
I mean, okay, it's 2 snipers fighting each other, and you could make that incredibly boring.
Oh, easily, yeah.
And,
especially
or
in a comic book.
Especially
in
a comic.
A movie, you can easily make a snipers just sitting there doing a little duel pretty exciting and whatnot. But in art, that's actually not the easiest thing to do.
Yeah, and it read like a movie.
Conveyed it very well.
And it was fun, man. It was a very fun read, and I loved the way it started, ended. I was hooked from the beginning.
Yeah.
So Dancer is way up there. And then Jar of Fools, I have to put on there again because that's just superbly written, just all around. That's a great comic.
Yeah,
and
it was good.
The story was incredible. So yeah, those are definitely my best written. I wouldn't have a standout, in all honesty.
Really,
it'd probably be 8 or Jar of Fools.
So on mine, best written, it was kind of hard
it was difficult
to pick. And I kind of ended up just picking these because I was like, I know I like the writing for it, but it's hard to like rank stuff. So I got Paper Girls, which the writing I thought was really good. I got Wake because the writing I felt like was very like epic, and the story was perfect and finished in that comic.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like it was a fully self-contained. You could tell from the beginning that they knew when it was going to end and when the story.
Yeah,
so
there was nothing up in the air.
No, it wasn't
left.
Dragged out because it was going to be more popular. They knew when it should end, when the story should end, and it ended. So I was like, perfect size. I think it was like 10 issues or something, right? It wasn't tiny. It was a bigger one. Amazing. And then Witch Doctor gets another mention.
Oh, shit.
Because same stuff I said earlier.
It's only those two. Those two
ones that I have.
Yeah.
Yes, I thought there was more. Oh no, there's one other one that was released at a different time.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that wasn't released exactly around the same time. It was released a little bit different. But yeah, there's only 3, so like 15 issues or something.
Okay.
15 or 16 maybe. But I read 10 of them. Or whatever.
Right.
And they were awesome. And that one you could say they didn't know when it was going to end or how to end it and stuff, I would say. So that kind of knocks off for it. But just all the characters were interesting. The doctor, his new assistant, the girl, the monster girl with the venom in her fingers. Everybody was hella cool in it. All the characters were hella cool. And it was like kind of like the show Supernatural or X-Files,
right? Because it was like kind of monster of the week.
He had to go help people, and it would be like a demon and possessing them, or this kind of monster.
It was everything.
Fairy children. It was amazing.
That's cool.
So those are my top ones for sure.
I would agree with Wake because I didn't read it, but you just telling me what happened was freaking awesome.
Yeah, it was good.
It was a good story.
It was really good. I liked it a lot.
All right, so best written. All right, so we got our last 2.
Okay.
These are like, I guess, the big ones, you would say. Whatever.
Yeah.
We got worst comic, worst all around.
Worst all around.
Worst overall, whatever you want to say. Just
yeah.
and we're not even talking shit, just
Yeah.
our least
of
favorite.
what we read. Not of all time.
Yeah, not of all
Of
time.
all these comics that we're talking about right now.
It doesn't even make them bad.
It's just the not good ones.
The worst ones of the 26.
Of the bunch. Yeah,
well,
exactly.
24.
Perfect way of saying it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So what do you got?
So this one actually was kind of easy. Most of them were hard, and at first I thought this one was going to be one of the harder categories.
I think I can guess yours. Yeah.
Oh, I guarantee. I told you at some point.
Oh, okay. Well, never
No,
mind.
guess anyways.
All right. Cold Space. Elf Quest.
No.
Oh no. Ah shit. Lowriders in space.
No.
Dang. Okay. Never mind.
Yeah.
What's
Then
it?
it goes Spook.
Oh right. Yeah.
Which I just thought it was just contrived and
So Cold Space.
and the
Spook.
art was cool and not cool. I don't know, man. It just didn't hit. That's for sure.
Yeah.
And then I got Cold Space. And Bell. Bell was the one I hadn't said.
Oh,
yet.
Bell.
Because you
okay.
said Cold. Yeah. So Bell, Spook, and Cold Space for worst all around. And what could I had one more that was pretty bad. Oh, ZMD wasn't the greatest.
It wasn't.
I had nostalgia goggles on whenever I found it again
Red
and saw it.
5.
And I was like, holy shit, I'm going to do it for the show. And then I did it, and I realized how I guess sloppy the art was.
Yeah.
And then it just kind of jumped around a little bit.
It was very meandering in the middle.
Yeah.
And then overall the master plan was what?
Why would they what? Yeah.
That was what he did?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, it wasn't too
Yeah,
great.
so that's the other one that I would say was kind of worst all around.
All right, so mine were I Walk with Monsters.
Oh, okay.
So even though it had great art, it's probably my third pick for it. It's just overall, even within the
rest
art
of it
itself, it was hard to follow.
Uh-huh.
They did tricks and things they did in the story. They did it one time and they never brought it back, which made this confusing.
Yeah.
They were doing flashbacks, and you could tell the flashbacks from the guy's hair. And then they have another flashback where his hair is short like it is in the future. So the only signifying thing is the clothes they're wearing, which the two characters are homeless and nomadic. So they end up wearing the same clothes for a while. So now there is no signifying element that tells you, hey, this is the past.
The one thing is gone.
Both things.
Oh,
the
both
hair,
things.
the haircut, and then the clothes.
Oh, wow.
And then, like I said, they do little tricks where something faded out like a static, like a TV. And I thought, okay, this is the end of a flashback. They never did it another time.
Wow.
Yeah, it was very vague, confusing. They didn't full on tell you stuff. The writing was strange in some parts. It was just weird.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
And like I said, when I read it and I covered it, that maybe I just didn't get it and it wasn't for me. But overall, that's my opinion on it.
Looking back,
did not have a great time reading it.
Right. Okay.
And there was a lot of things. I was like, what about this? What is this?
Yeah.
I think I yelled about it on the episode too.
You did. A little bit at least.
A little bit.
Yeah.
And then I picked Paradox.
Okay.
Paradox was weird because I think a couple of times the wrong person answered a question, or they asked a question and then answered it themselves.
The speech bubbles were in the wrong places,
Speech bubbles were in weird places. And like I said, someone asked a question and then answered it themselves.
Yeah.
They're like, how long has this been happening? And then the next panel is them being like, about 2 weeks. And I was, what?
That was one page and then another page separately. So they made a mistake by doing when they went from one page because
she's supposed to be here.
Their
not
work
here.
pages, yeah, exactly.
So there was quite a few mistakes like that. The art, the body shapes, the faces, everything changed.
Yeah,
panel to panel.
Oh yeah.
It just wasn't great, and it was kind of a lackluster story.
Yeah,
they had cool stuff, and it just, I don't know. Like you said, it just didn't hit.
Yeah.
And then Next Town Over, which it's just kind of honorable mention for real.
Yeah.
It wasn't bad.
No, but it It was a little bad.
It was a little bad.
Yeah, it definitely had redeeming qualities for sure, but it was a little bad.
The art didn't fit.
It was weird.
Yeah,
It was
the
cool
story
art.
was too long.
If it was just art and not a comic book art, I think it would be better.
Maybe.
I don't know.
It was very off-putting.
It's a very like soft touch art, like
And then for how raw it was,
Yeah.
it was very cartoony.
weird.
And then the art itself was strange.
Yeah, it was almost
And
like
the main character was super not competent at doing what the whole comic is her. She's trying to kill this man,
right.
and then you find out, they actually were together. So
Yeah,
does she
some
even
dumb
really
shit.
want to kill
Yeah,
him?
what
and
the hell?
And
remember
shout out
now.
there. I know a guy, Joaquin. He told me because of that episode, he went and read it, and he told me a little bit about what happens later.
Oh, really?
So yeah, some of the suspicions we had were right.
Yeah.
So again, if I can guess, I shouldn't be able to guess.
Not super easy like that. Yeah,
Yeah, I read 5 issues out of 15 or something, and
Yeah.
I was able to guess what's going on.
of course.
Yeah, so overall, that one,
Yeah.
a little bit. But like I said, third choice, like almost like I have to pick a third one, so I picked that one.
Yeah.
It wasn't in the running for number one at all. Wasn't
Yeah.
even close. It's definitely Paradox or I Walk with
Okay.
Monsters, for sure.
Yeah, it was. I was like, it was easy to get those three, kind of, but then past that, I was like, I don't know,
Because
like,
we like them.
yeah, exactly. It's almost always got something redeeming.
We're not
almost.
cherry picking when we do the show.
Exactly.
But we are kind of gravitating towards things we do
exact
like.
genres instead of
Yeah.
cherry picking stories. We'll
Oh,
do a
fantasy.
genre.
That one's
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, exactly.
And like I said, I don't cherry pick, but I do research somewhat.
Yeah.
And then go, I think I'm going to like this one.
Right.
So it's still guessing, but
Yeah.
I tend to go for, the stuff we like.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that happens.
Yeah. Exactly.
So that was worst comic. Now we're just going to do best comic, best overall, best
Yeah.
all around.
Yeah.
I got a lot. I got quite a few because this one was the hardest one.
Yeah.
I think so.
This is the category that was just the same as the other category. That's ridiculous. I just realized that.
What?
The ones I put down are like all
same?
ones that have used on earlier ones.
They are too for me. They're literally all the ones I've said before.
Okay. Oh, thank God.
So just best overall.
Okay. Yeah, pretty much. Okay.
Just because we said, the best art is this one, the best writing is
Yeah.
this one.
Yeah.
Best overall is probably going to
Somewhere
be
in
that one.
That one, yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, we can just go through them
Yeah,
real
we'll
quick.
just go through them.
All right, you go ahead.
Okay,
Do
so
yours.
I did Paper Girls. If you haven't read Paper Girls, you need to read Paper Girls. The show that I found out just recently and been watching is fine. I think it's only one season, so I know they don't finish anything or
Right.
whatever. So don't get too excited about the show. But the comic book is amazing, and
you
it
didn't
goes
know
for
it
a
was
little
already
while.
canceled?
You didn't even know?
You didn't even
Why
know.
didn't you know? The comic book goes for a while. I don't know if it's still going,
Mm-hmm.
but it goes for a while. I know that. I'm not super far.
Yeah, you said like 12 issues when you figured it out, I think. Something like that.
Oh no, it was
More?
Yeah. There was
20.
I think it was five sets of those small.
So that'd be 25,
20 or
26,
yeah,
something. Yeah.
something
Okay,
like that.
quite a bit.
Maybe there was more. I might be wrong. Just like it's dope. Whatever it is, read it.
Go get it.
It's amazing.
Go get it.
And then I got Jacked because I talked about
Nice.
Jacked.
I wasn't
liked the
expecting
art.
that one to be on your best
I liked.
overall.
It hit me. It hit really well. It made me feel emotions for the guy. I don't have kids. I don't have a wife, and I don't have a bunch of the issues he had. But like, even though I'm semi close to his age. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So they wrote the character good enough for you to sympathize with, at least. Maybe
Right.
not identify with, but at least
Somewhat
sympathize.
relatable.
Yeah, in the zone of relatable. And then the art in it, I loved the art in it. I really did. I thought it complemented the story really well. It wasn't the 100% best overall art, but it was because of everything. It becomes up there.
Right.
And Wake,
Of course.
because
That one was just great. That one would have made it on mine, in all honesty.
It almost swept it, basically.
Yeah.
Like, it was in a ton of categories.
Dude, like I said, when you explained it to me, I was into it. So
Yeah.
yeah.
The art's complementary to the story and the tone of the story. The story's cool and self-contained.
And that's just nice.
It's so nice.
So nice.
Whenever they know when it's going to end, so they can pace
Finish
it.
in and out,
pace
man.
it correctly.
Give me an ending.
Yeah.
That's why I like British TV. They're good about that.
Yeah, that is true.
3 seasons, 3 episodes a season, whole
Something
story.
crazy, dude.
Bye.
Yeah, weird
We're done.
shit like that.
It's pretty
so
great.
weird.
Is that your list?
Yeah, that's on my top ones. Like I said, there was other ones that I thought were amazing and didn't make the absolute top.
Right.
Like Law Dog, I thought was pretty amazing. It got a bunch of other categories, but I didn't want to put that in there.
Okay.
But that kind of could have been on my list as well.
Right.
For sure. Just for all the reasons I said before, the art was amazing and the story was really fun.
Yeah.
It wasn't serious in any way, shape, or form. It was just a fun comic
Yeah,
book story.
easy to read. Yeah.
So fun.
Good time.
And simple.
Actually, my Good Time comics made my best overall
yeah,
list. So
it's how you feel. It makes you how you feel from it.
if I was laughing, being like, "Oh wow, that was crazy!" I'm laughing, I'm enjoying it, everything. That's pretty great.
Yeah.
I got Mr. Easter at the top of mine.
Yeah.
Because that was the most fun I think I had reading a comic.
Yeah, it's so good.
It was
So cool.
So much about it I loved, and I would love to see like an animated movie about it.
That's how you would have to do it.
Right.
Yeah.
And then Jar of Fools again.
Yeah.
Clean sweep for Jar of Fools because
Yeah.
that was just amazing.
Yeah.
And honestly, I don't know. Now I'm thinking it was a book, but it looked comic, so I counted it. But it was written more like a book.
Right.
Could have been a short story
Oh,
and still would
right,
have been
right.
incredible.
Yeah.
The art obviously lends a lot to
It
it,
did.
which I'm sure that's how it was originally created.
Yeah.
And then, so honorable mention would be Young Master.
Uh-huh.
I didn't put it on because I didn't finish it.
Okay.
So I don't know. It could get
Not
real
100%.
shitty.
Yeah.
I doubt it, but it could get real shitty.
Yeah, it's possible.
And another honorable mention was Blood and Dust, the Judd Glennie one.
Yep.
Again, it didn't finish.
No.
I would have, but it didn't.
It didn't. Yeah.
It did what? 4 issues, 5
short,
issues,
yeah.
and then stopped.
Just stopped.
They couldn't make any more, so I never got to finish that.
Yeah.
If it was a complete story, it'd probably be up there.
Dude, that was such a cool story. The art was amazing. It was a simple-ish story.
Yeah, it was cool. Very cool.
It was awesome.
And then, Young Master, Blood and Dust were just honorable mentions. Toshiro and Dancer,
Yeah.
those were both good.
Super good.
And then I put Orphan Blade because I also had a lot of fun reading
Yeah.
that one. And like we said, the art is kind of standard cartoony art.
Yeah.
So it's not really.
It's like American animated influence art.
Avatar.
Yeah, kind of.
Very much kind of bubbly.
It's like Disney
cute.
Channel anime.
But then they would have monsters that they're like cutting in
Look
half,
really
and they would
cool.
slice people's heads,
Yeah.
and so it got raw.
Yeah, it did.
So it was neat seeing Nickelodeon art with death and
True.
gore.
Yeah.
So, like I said, I just had a lot of fun.
Yeah.
It was cool as shit.
Hell yeah.
I thought, like I said, it was going to be them fighting monsters. And then when the story starts, they're like, the monsters are all dead. And
Yeah.
I'm like, whoa, okay.
Whoa.
That kind of, sucked me in right there. That was like, made it a little twist I wasn't expecting. So
That's
that
awesome.
one was really cool. Yeah, shit, dude. I liked all those. And those are ones I may or may not ever have come across if we weren't doing this show.
Exactly. I'm really grateful for the show for that,
Right?
for sure.
Right?
Definitely broadening the horizons. That's
'Cause
for sure.
The research, I wouldn't do that. I would
Oh.
wait till I heard about it. And as many comic shows are out there, I don't see people covering this random shit we do.
Yeah, not so much. People do.
I
but
mean,
it's
they
not-
do.
It's not super popular, first of all, and
It's not a big channel.
Yeah,
and a lot
yeah.
of the big guys will cover a lot of Marvel, a lot of
Of
DC,
course. It's what
some
people
big
click on.
image. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Which is fine.
Yeah.
But I'm grateful for it too because
It
I've
really is.
found all these cool ass comics.
So cool.
So I guess that was it, man.
Yeah, so-
congratulations all you winners.
Yeah, so this is the wrap up for, like we said. Well, your awards will be shipped to you shortly.
Very shortly.
Hold your breath till they get there. They're definitely on the way.
I had to hand make them all, so they're not consistent. And the Gorilla Glue I used is like from when I was a kid.
Yeah.
So I don't know if it's going to hold, or it may be stronger. I don't know.
Who knows?
It may never fall apart.
I think it's
So
super now.
if it does, right back to Adam.
Yeah.
And we'll get that one repaired
Definitely.
for you. Maybe we can part order for you. Something like that.
I'll put it on the agenda.
Yeah. Good on the calendar.
Yeah,
We'll get
hell
to
yeah.
it. He'll get to it.
I
Don't
will.
worry. So we are on Instagram, Facebook. New episodes release every Monday on all podcast platforms. And if you want to see the cool stuff we're talking about, we also have YouTube videos that release every Monday.
Yep.
So that's season 1 done.
In the bag, baby.
In the bag. So we'll be back very shortly with season 2.
Yeah.
We'll kick that off, and then we'll do that, and then do another honors show, and just keep that shit going.
Keep it going forever and ever.
So if you've been listening and liking anything like that, we appreciate it all very much.
Yes, we do.
Thank you. And that's the episode, man.
That's right.
All right. Well, y'all have a good one.
Bye.